Hello and welcome. I am Gimba Umar. Tonight, main opposition People's Democratic Party, the PDP, threatens to pull out of elections peace accord following comments linked to Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai. Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai maintains his stance, says that his call is not for violence but a patriotic one to defend the country's dignity. Nigeria's ruling All Progressives Congress and main opposition People's Democratic Party continue their nationwide presidential campaigns 9 days to the general election. And meteorologists forecast the world is likely to experience warmest temperature at about 1 Celsius in 10 years.
On Business News tonight, President Muhammadu Buhari gives assent to law aimed at promoting competition among companies and protection for consumers and small businesses.
In sports news tonight, Senegal become the first African team to qualify for the FIFA Under-20 World Cup after winning their back-to-back games at the Under-20 AFCON in Niger.
From Abuja, ECOWAS Observer Mission meets with Chairman of Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) and other relevant bodies over preparations for the elections.
Nigeria's main opposition party, the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, is threatening to pull out of the peace agreement signed by political parties ahead of the general elections. The threat is in reaction to comments credited to the governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, who allegedly threatened that foreigners planning to intervene in Nigeria's election will be returned in body bags. According to a statement by the National Publicity Secretary of the PDP, Mr. Kola Ologbondiyan, Governor El-Rufai's comments are directly inimical to a peaceful, free and fair election. Here is a soundbite of the comments by Governor El-Rufai during the interview with the Nigeria Television Authority, the NTA, and Mr. Kola Ologbondiyan's reaction.
Those that are calling for anyone to come and intervene in Nigeria, we are waiting for the person that will come and intervene. They will go back in body bags. Okay. Because nobody will come to Nigeria and tell us how to run our country. We've got that independence and we are trying to run our country as decently as possible. And we know the history of those countries that are trying to teach us these things. We have read their history. We also know at their own stages of development, they went through these challenges. So please, let's work together. Let's advise one another, but don't lecture us.
All right. We have...
Nigerians are still in a shock over comments by the governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, who declared on the national television that members of the global democratic institutions that are working for a peaceful election in Nigeria will return to their countries in body bags. What a threat. We call on the international community to immediately impose a travel ban on El-Rufai, as well as members of his family, for this inciting comment against peaceful elections in our country. Our party is left with no option than to consider a review of its signatory in the National Peace Accord if no action is taken to immediately curb this trend. We therefore call on the National Peace Committee to immediately summon El-Rufai on his inflammatory remarks against peaceful election in our country.
The European Union Election Observation Mission, the EOM, has also reacted to the comments by Governor Nasir El-Rufai, saying its election observers are impartial, do not interfere in the electoral process, and operate according to a strict code of conduct. The EOM said in a statement that while the security of its observers was of paramount importance and would remain under constant review, its observers will continue their work across the country in the run-up to the elections and beyond February 16 elections. The mission stated that it was invited to monitor the 2019 elections by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, adding that this was the 6th time it was observing elections in the country. In the meantime, Governor El-Rufai of Kaduna State is insisting that there was nothing wrong about his utterances, which are already generating reactions from political parties and the international community as well. The governor says that his comments can be understood by every patriotic person and that he only stood up for Nigeria's dignity in the wake of those who would truncate their country and reduce it to the status of a colony in their quest for power.
What I said is based on intelligence that is available to us, that the opposition PDP is trying to prepare grounds to cause crisis in Nigeria and inviting foreign participation. They are discussing it, they call it the Venezuelan option. They know that they are likely to lose the elections. They are putting out information that they have won. They have issued a poll showing that they will win. They are procuring the sympathy of international community to issue statements like the 3 statements, coordinated statements on the suspension of the Chief Justice, and linking that to the election as if the government or the ruling party has anything to hide regarding elections. They are doing all this to prepare grounds to protest and cause crisis in Nigeria and advance their so-called Venezuelan option. You all know what is happening in Venezuela. Now we are not going to sit and allow unpatriotic Nigerians to confuse and procure the misguided support of countries that are supposed to be our friends without sounding a note of warning to them. We welcome international observers. We invited them, okay? And we want them to be part of the process. I will protect them. But they are here to observe. They are not here to intervene. They are not here to provide the foundation for crisis in Nigeria, which is what the PDP has been preparing for. It is their ultimate last option, and we are all aware of it. Okay? This is the essence of my statement. I don't want anybody to confuse what I said to mean that Nigerians will kill any foreigner they see. No.
The people of Oyi and Ayamelu local government areas have assured Governor Willie Obiano of massive support for the candidate of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA, as he has proved himself to be a governor of the people, especially for his developmental strides in agriculture and road infrastructure. The governor received these assurances when he visited the 2 local government areas to appreciate them for supporting his re-election bid and to appeal to them to also support the National and State Assembly candidates of APGA.
The community primary school in Ayamelum local government of Anambra State comes alive as Governor Willie Obiano arrives the area. He seeks to appreciate the people for supporting his re-election and also appeal to them to do the same for all candidates of the All Progressive Grand Alliance. The national chairman of the party and the former secretary to the state government announced their support for the governor.
If you want to be alive, you identify with the living. There is no other political party in Anambra State except APGA. Why? First and foremost, we have a working governor.
From Ayamelum, the governor and his team moved to Oyi local government area, which also goes agog with excitement at his arrival. The candidates say the governor has given them the right campaign tools by providing adequate infrastructure, security, and agri development for the people.
Before the end of my remaining 3 years, Oyi transformed for good. So I'm appealing to you on behalf of all the APGA candidates, let no vote be lost here. If you perform excellently, me and your sister will make sure that Oyi becomes brighter than it is now.
As the national chairman hands over the party's flag to state assembly candidates, the people are hopeful for a continuation of the development that has already begun in this state.
In the meantime, the Zamfara State All Progressives Congress campaign rally has entered its 4th day with a promise by the Governor, Abdulaziz Yari, to complete all works in the remaining local government areas. The governor gave the assurance when he presented the governorship candidate, Mukhtar Idris, to the people of Shinkafi local government area. Our correspondent, Gloria Omezweke, reports.
Cheering and jubilation. School children are among scores of residents who wave at the governor's motorcade. Governor Abdulaziz Yari and his entourage heads to the palace of the Emir of Shinkafi, Alhaji Muhammadu Makwashi, to pay homage. After the visit, a thrilled crowd greeted the governor and governorship candidate, Mukhtar Idris, as they moved through the throng on day 4 of the rallies.
Inda duk muka tafi ana tarban mu kamar na bayani wannan bai rasa nasaba da irin jagorancin ka da kuma ayyuka na alheri da kai a wannan jiha tamu. Mai daraja gwamnatin jiha kullum muna addu'a Allah shi kare maka jagora. Wannan yan takarkarun mu tun daga bai girma shugaban kasa wanda shi mai daraja gwamnati yazo da gabatar muku.
As the governor canvasses support for the president, Muhammadu Buhari, he assures of greater development for the people.
Ina godiya kwarai da gaske bisa ga wannan tariya da aka yi mana tun daga shigowa gari har zuwa fada zuwa nan inda muke yin wannan taro. Mutanen Shinkafi ba sai na yi muku bayanin abinda wannan gwamnati ta yi makahi yau. Abu ne wanda ke iya magana ko ake iya gani da ido. Sanata! 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 Shinkafi zurmi! Shinkafi zurmi! Shinkafi ta majalisar jiha!
The party had earlier campaigned in Maru, Bungudu and Safi local government areas. This marks the 9th stop the party is making since the beginning of the electioneering. From Zamfara State, Gloria Umezuke, Channels Television News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has reassured Nigerians that he will not betray the trust reposed on him and will work to improve the lives of Nigerians. The president spoke at the presidential campaign rally in Lafia, the Nasarawa state capital, where he thanked the people of the state for their long time and consistent support. The president had earlier visited Makurdi, the Benue state capital, where he also promised the electorate that he would ensure that recovered loot are spent on infrastructure projects. Our correspondent Ibrahim Adra now reports.
Thousands of the All Progressive Congress supporters had thronged the Lafia Square as early as 9 in the morning. They wanted to catch a glimpse of President Buhari and listen to what the campaign train has to say. The host governor and aspirant for Senate position is confident the president is the man for the job. The national chairman of the APC, who danced with the delight of the crowd, says the show of support is overwhelming.
Politics and election is about people, and it's a game of numbers. It's not a game of social media. It's not a game of people with money. The most powerful man in politics is the man that the people trust. And the most important quality in leadership is character. Character, reliability, honesty, and integrity.
It was time for the president to address the crowd. President Buhari had flown in from Benue State and on arrival held a meeting with traditional rulers in the state at the government house, Lafia. While in Benue State, however, President Buhari received a rousing reception. Leader of APC in Benue State, Senator George Akume, says the people of Benue are happy with their Fulani brothers.
We have a wonderful relationship with the Fulanis. We have no problems with the Fulanis. I was governor of Benue State for 8 years. We didn't have any problem at all with these men.
While addressing the Benue APC supporters, the president pledged to reinvest proceeds of corruption and recovered loot into critical infrastructure like roads, rails, and power for the overall public good of Nigerians. In both states, President Buhari presented Abdullahi Sule and Emmanuel Jime to the people as governorship candidates for Nasarawa and Benue, respectively. From Lafia in Nasarawa State, Ibrahim Adra, Channels Television News.
In part 2, after the break, political parties intensify governorship campaigns across the country, presenting their programs to the electorate. Please stay with us.